she demurred. What are you doing that's more important? Reading, eavesdropping, not making a spectacle of myself. They were having a whole entire conversation now, a stunning and unexpected turn of events. It did not escape the notice of the other girls, who closed ranks and surged closer as if to protect their golden boy from the gawky blue stocking he was speaking with. Besides, I think you have enough girls chasing after you already, she said. Enough was apparently not a concept that appealed to Theodore Prescott the Horrid. No, he wanted all the girls hankering after him. He leaned forward. Wells' Principles and Applications of Chemistry was wrenched cruelly from her hands by someone who could have no possible interest in it. Hey! Daisy lunged for it. Theo tossed it to his friends, two vile, spoiled boys named Daniel and Patrick, whose fathers reaped fortunes from coal and oil. They laughed, tossing the book back and forth between them, shouting, "Keep away from Daisy!" Keep away from Daisy. Keep away from Daisy. It was the stuff of nightmares, that chant. They were perilously close to the duck pond, leaping from logs to rocks and back to the muddy shore. If they dropped it, she would have to buy another. She'd already had a row with her mother about whether it was appropriate reading for a young lady. As the awful boys laughed with malicious glee while tossing her book between them, Daisy confirmed with 1,000% certainty that she despised Theo, his friends, and all her classmates who were cheering at this new game. And then it happened. Daisy didn't know how exactly. It was all a blur. 1 minute she spied an opportunity to grab her book, 1 second later she reached for it, and all of a sudden she was falling backward. Arms flailing, lungs seizing, heart stopping. She landed with a splash in the duck pond, among the reeds and bright green duckweed floating on the surface. She was soaking wet and covered in pond scum. Beside her, a duck quacked. And then, to her everlasting mortification, so did her classmates. Quack, quack, quack. Keep away from Daisy. Quack, quack, quack. Honestly, she couldn't decide what hurt more, the laughter or the feigned quacking or the sharp rock she'd landed on. One voice rang out above the others. Ugly duck Daisy! It was Theodore Prescott the Horrid, smirking as he destroyed her life with 3 little words. Keep away from Daisy! Ugly duck Daisy! Quack, quack, quack! It was then that Daisy decided hers would be a different path going forward. She would cut ties with her peers as soon as possible, for theirs was not a society she tremendously enjoyed, and why should she run herself ragged, seeking their approval when all they do is quack at her? She would never put herself on the marriage mart, subjecting herself to the appraisal and consideration of mean and petty men like these, and the women who sought their favor. If that meant she would be alone, a spinster, so be it. No one would be able to hurt her. And who knew what she might accomplish when free from petty and pretty distractions? And Daisy knew with utter certainty that she would hate Theodore Prescott the Third with every breath in her body until her dying day. Starting today. Chapter 1. 12 years later. New York City, 1895. 854 Fifth Avenue. At the age of 25, Miss Daisy Swann was still not pretty. Her nose was still a trifle too large, her eyes a smidge too close together, and her mouth inspired no man to raptures. Despite the secret, fervent prayers of her teenage self, she had not transformed from an ugly duckling into a beautiful swan like her mother and sisters. Perhaps on a good day, in the right light and at a certain angle, she might be considered handsome. Few young women wished to be considered handsome at best on a good day. When one was handsome at best and unmarried at the age of 25, one anticipated spinsterhood. Daisy was quite looking forward to it. She would soon complete her studies at the recently established Barnard College, and free from the expectation of marriage, would be able to pursue a life of independence. Then her life would really begin. This was all she'd ever wanted, ever since she'd been 13. Daisy, we need to talk, her mother said. They were in the parlor of